Texas swimming and diving added to their championship legacy with a 4-year hot streak of NCAA titles from 2015 to 2018. But the perennial challengers from California ended that streak in 2019, beating the Longhorns in their home pool to take the championship. Can Cal repeat and again keep Texas off the top of the podium? One thing is for sure, it's going to be a hotly contested NCAA men's swimming and diving championships in Greensboro. And we're here in North Carolina at the beautiful Greensboro Aquatic Center, the first time ever that it's hosted the NCAA Men's Swimming and Diving Championships. Hi everybody, Rich Burke along with U.S. Olympic swimmer Rowdy Gaines. Former U.S. Olympic diver Cynthia Potter will be along a little later. Here's how the meet is scored. 20 points for a first place finish, on down to 1 point for a 16th place finish. That would be 8th place in the B final. And relays count as double points. Our standings after the 800 freestyle relay: Texas gobbled up the 41st place points, Cal second right now, Texas A&M third, and then Florida fourth. Let's get things started with the 200 freestyle relay. Auburn set the standard in 2009, the oldest record on the books. This one features 4 200 free relay conference champions. In the last of 6-time finals, Cal, Texas, Florida, and Louisville. The time to beat from an earlier heat is 1:15.62 by Alabama.
And this is going to be exactly what we thought it was going to be, between 3 huge powerhouses: Texas, Cal, Florida. Dark horse in here is Louisville. But watch Cal down there in lane number 2. They go with their 2 best swimmers to start. Seeliger for Cal, he was third in the 50 in the preliminaries, and Hoffer will go second. He's ranked first, second fastest guy in history in the 50 freestyle. Hoffer will go second. Watch him go.
Seeliger, the 6'8 Swede, hands it off to the second fastest guy ever in the 53, Ryan Hoffer. Cal in lane 2 at the bottom.
18.72 on Seeliger. That is fantastic. Cheney from Florida was 18.8.
Up next, backstroker Daniel Carr for Cal, swimming the freestyle.
18 flat. 18 flat on Hoffer. Wow. They were right on record pace. I thought that record would never be broken. They averaged 18.5s, for crying out loud. Let's see what this one happens.
Record is 1:14.08, and now Nate Biondi in the water for Cal in the yellow cap at the bottom. Son of the great Olympian Matt Biondi.
18.5 on Carr. Again, these are unofficial splits. Biondi's the slowest, believe it or not, so Florida still has a chance. Here he comes!
Eric Freeze of Florida in lane number 4, going to be close at the end, down to the touch. It's Cal that has it, 1:14.36.
Oh my goodness!
1:14.36 for Cal. Bjorn Seeliger from Sweden doesn't qualify for an American record, or it would have had it. NC State, the American record, 1:14.5.
Here's an 18 flat right there at the bottom of your screen, going into Carr in the exchange there. Cal looked like they were going to run away with it. But watch this last turn and Freeze, and what he does, he makes up a lot of ground right here. There is no question he was running them down the entire way, and 12/100ths of a second was the difference. Maybe one more stroke and he would have gotten him. Biondi, that's a famous name from Pops. Son, you're not too bad either, my friend.
Yes, it was. Cal wins it by 12/100ths over Florida. Alabama third, Georgia fourth. Texas ended up finishing 6th. And we're joined by Nate Biondi and his Golden Bear teammates. And Nate, you did your father proud. What do you think this win means to him to see you anchor this relay?
I mean, for him and all of our Cal alumni, Dave, before this meet, was sure to let us know their support, and they're all watching us, rooting for us. So that was just great. So proud to be a part of that relay. And I mean, hats off to these 3 guys. That was amazing.
Yeah, what was your thoughts going into that race as far as coming off the blocks? and knowing you had that lead.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw me, but my back foot was shaking quite a bit. But yeah, hats off to these guys. I mean, Daniel Carr, he's been up here. He's a frequent flyer of these NCAA podiums. Bjorn has just impacted our team right from the get-go. And then, of course, I mean, Ryan Hoffer. That was such an incredible swim.
Oh, congratulations. What are you going to say to your dad tonight when you talk to him, by the way?
I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you know after.
Okay, good.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
And with Biondi and the Bears win, Cal now has an 8-point lead on Texas. Florida just behind in third, followed by Texas A&M and Georgia. Hi, everybody. I'm Rich Burke. U.S. Olympians Rowdy Gaines and Cynthia Potter will be along in a moment. We have 42 schools represented at these championships, but it's expected that California and Texas will be at the top. And look what those two schools have done in recent years. From 2010 to 2019, they combined to win 9 of the last 10 NCAA titles. And by the way, each time one team won one in that span, the other team finished as runner-up. All right, Rowdy, your turn. Cal and Texas, swimming portion of the competition. Who has the edge?
I think Cal does a little bit on the swimming side, Rich. They have that amazing senior superstar sprinter, Ryan Hoffer, and they have wonderful relays. And they have Coach Dave Durden, who you have said has been first or second for 10 years in a row. But you never want to count out the Texas Longhorns. They are the greatest collegiate program in history, and they have tremendous depth, especially in diving, something that Cal does not have.
And we have somebody here who knows something about diving. Cynthia, how about those Longhorn divers?
The 4 Longhorn divers are formidable as always. They are led by senior Jordan Wendell, who's the defending champion on the platform. But he scored 47 points by himself in 2019. And I wouldn't be surprised if all 4 Longhorn divers don't score points in this championship.
Yep, the Longhorn diving points could tip the scales in their favor. We also have some great individual stories at these championships, like Texas A&M's amazing Shane Casas. We'll see him coming up next in the 200 IM when we return to Greensboro. ESPN's coverage of the men's swimming and diving championships continues from here in North Carolina, and Cal now with a lead on Florida, who is in second place right now. It's not going to last very long. Texas has a lot of points possible coming up. They're in third place right now. Time now for the 200 individual medley. The amazing Caleb Dressel set the NCAA record at the 2018 SEC championships. And check out the results from the consoles final. 3 swimmers each for California and Texas. If you have any doubt about the Longhorns and Bears being the top 2 teams here, look no further than this. That's 14 points for Texas and 16 for Cal out of the B final. In the championship final, the Bears have a pair side by side. Richard Jr. Hugo Gonzalez, the Pac-12 champ, and freshman Destin Lasco, considered an excellent backstroke prospect, opening some eyes with his top qualifying time here in the 200 IM. Texas has one in the A final. The great freshman IMer Carson Foster, the Big 12 champ, in lane 3. Kyle Pampoots, the ACC champ from Georgia Tech, is in lane 2. And in lane 5 is the SEC champion, Texas A&M's Shane Casas, the 3rd fastest ever in the 200 IM.
Yeah, at 1:38.9. He did that earlier this year. Only 2 guys have ever been faster than Casas. Does he have a chance to break that record? Absolutely he does. No question about it. He went 19 flat earlier, leading off a 200 free relay. So that might take the edge off a little bit. That was a full hour, 45 minutes ago. So he should have enough to be able to take a run at that record.
Keep your eye in the middle of the pool. Lane 5, Shane Casas of A&M.
How about Lasco, the guy and freshman who went his PB by 5 seconds to get in there, 140.6. He's got 4 really good strokes. He could be a factor. And Carson Foster up there in 6th, although he may be a little stronger in the 400 IM. He's a good 200 IMer as well.
Danny Kovac of Missouri in lane number 1, going out strong on the fly.
Yeah, Kovac was 26 back in 19. Now here's him in the final. There goes Casas in that great backstroke. You've got to figure that he's going to have a great back. And he was only 25.2. I say only 25.2. He's capable of going a lot faster on the backstroke. Lasko was the fastest at 24.8. There goes Casas at 24.8. And Carson Foster right there, 24.5. He had a nice split there. And he's also got a great breaststroke. And Gonzalez in lane number 3 has a great breaststroke as well. He had a better breast than anybody in the field.
The top time in history, 1:38.13. The second best time, 1:38.14. That was Dressel and Seliskar. Casas' best time, the third fastest ever, 1:38.95.
Looks like he's going for the win. He's not going to get the record. Dressel's record will remain safe, and now it's all of really of a story is can Casas hang on with that great freestyle? You know, he's got a good freestyle. It was 130 point on the 800 free relay.
Shane Casas of Texas A&M in lane number 6. Below him, Lasko and Gonzalez of Cal. Just above him, Foster of Texas. Be a race for second between the two Cal Bears, and it's Gonzalez that has it. Shane Casas the winner, 1:39.53. That's 6/10 slower than his time back in November.
Really, overall, though, the heat was slower. You had Casas, the only guy to break 140, and at the halfway point, that's where he kind of made his move on the backstroke. That great split that he had in the back, 24 plus on the back. Foster right there, he had a great split as well, right above Casas to get in there. He ended up getting 4th at the end. Couldn't quite hang on the freestyle, but again, how about Cal? Talking about Cal swimmers, team title. They finished 2nd and 3rd. Gonzalez, 139.99. I said Casas was the only under 140. Nope. Gonzalez got on with a best time. Lasko and Gonzalez both go best times there. And here's the finish. There are the two Bears right there, but this was all about Shane Casas. Didn't get the record, but got the win, and that's the big thing here at the NCAA Championships. Getting your hand on the wall first.
The junior Shane Casas, an NCAA champion for the first time. Destin Lasko, 6/100ths better than his previous best, which was this morning. Hugo Gonzalez, likewise a personal best, just 1/100th under 140. And a pleasure to speak with Texas A&M junior Shane Casas. How's it feel to hold the first ever trophy won by an Aggie at the NCAA's first ever first place title?
It's incredible. You know, it's definitely an honor to be the first, and I hope I'll never be the last. You know, I just wanted to open the door and really show everybody else that they can do it too. And I'm just happy to swim for this one.
I know it's the first team title, but it's obviously your first individual title. I know the record would have been nice, but don't you think the win here at this meet is a lot more important?
Yeah, definitely. You know, the time is cool, but you know, the real thing is just getting the job done and taking home the gold.
You could have done this last year, but the meet was canceled. How big is it now after the 2-year wait to get this win?
I mean, it's double the reward. You know, I felt like I was ready last year, and they said no, so it was even better getting it this time around.
All right, Shane Casas of Texas A&M, congratulations on the win.
Thank you, gig 'em.
And Shane Casas, Texas A&M Aggies are now in 5th place. Look at all the points captured by Texas and Cal in the 200 IM. Texas has vaulted past Florida. Cal now with a 47-point lead on the Texas Longhorns. And now the championship final of the 50 free. Ryan Hoffer of Cal is in lane number 4, the defending champ from 2019. 18:43 in the prelims. The second fastest 50 free swimmer of all time, behind Caleb Dressel. That's how good that prelim swim was. And Cal has 2 along with Hoffer. 6'8" Swede Bjorn Seeliger. Texas has 1. Daniel Kruger, the Big 12 champ.
And this is quite the 1-2 punch. As you see, Adam Chaney, just a freshman. There are 3 freshmen. It's really all about Hoffer and how faster he can go. He was 18 flat on their relay, 18.4 here, but only 29/100ths of a second separate 2 through 8, Rich. So a great battle potentially for second. Anything can happen, but I think Hoffer will win it, and it will be a race for second. Seeliger was 18.7 leading off Cal's relay. Hoffer going 18 flat, as I said. Cheney was 18.8. Downing was 18.9 leading off the relay. There are 9 guys that have broken 19 seconds here this season at the NCAAs. Unbelievable, the depth here in the 50.
For Hoffer to have a top 10 swim of all time, he'll have to go 18:38 or better.
0.62 on the takeoff for Hoffer. 8.9. 8.9 on the way out. Only guy to break 9 seconds. Seeliger, his teammate, 9 flat. He's going to win it.
Ryan Hoffer, 18:33.
And Cal goes 1-2.
The 10th fastest swim of all time, Ryan Hoffer of Cal. Oh man, what fantastic underwaters that guy has.
Oh, unbelievable. And he breaks the stranglehold of Caleb Dressel's top 10 times in history. Now he has the 9th fastest time in history behind the legendary Caleb Dressel. But what a swim for the senior. What a way to go out with this huge win for Cal. And the team battle is what really matters to him, I know for sure. And when you talk about 0.62 steady on the blocks, uses that back foot to explode off the blocks. He uses his whole body, shoulders, everything to get in the water. And you said it, Rich, look at those underwaters, just beautiful. That's the 15-meter mark. You see this red buoy? That's the 15-meter mark right there coming down the pool. And then watch him jump off this wall right there in the middle, his teammate right behind him. His teammate right underneath him in lane number 3. He's just a freshman. Hoffer's gone, but they got Seeliger right behind them, and the Cal Bears pick up big 37 points on one race.
Big swim for Ryan Hoffer, his best time ever. Caleb Dressel entered the day with the top 12 swims of all time. Well, Hoffer's prelim swim put him in 11th, and now his final swim put him in 9th. Ryan Hoffer wins the 50 free. Bjorn Seeliger, his Cal teammate, finishes 2nd. Ryan Hoffer of Cal wins the 50 free again. He now is the 2nd fastest all time in this event. ESPN's coverage of the men's NCAA swimming and diving championships continue, and let's welcome in our diving analyst, Cynthia Potter. The Texas Longhorns have made a big move, and it started with a 1-meter springboard competition.
That's right, and this is what I call Longhorn momentum, with Jordan Wendell, the senior, being in 2nd place until the 4th round of 6, and going into the lead with that impeccable reverse 1.5 or 2.5 twist. The next round, he gets even better. A forward 3.5 somersault, a perfect hurdle from the end of the springboard, and the highest scoring dive of the competition. That pretty much ensures him the win. But his teammate, the freshman, Noah Dupere, I think plays off of Jordan's momentum in the last round and gets 8.5s and 9s to get 2nd place in this championship. Unbelievable, the Longhorns rolling in diving.
And Cynthia, let's talk about rolling and momentum. Just a few minutes after that Longhorn diving performance, it was the swimmers' turn. The 400 medley relay, and Texas rolling along in that one. Staka, Corbo, Young, and that's Daniel Kruger on the end with a 40.8, 3.002. What an amazing performance by the Texas Longhorns in that relay. Well, one of the big reasons for Texas's success is the fact that they have 2 legendary coaches, Eddie Reese on the swimming side, and then Cynthia on the diving side. It's Matt Scoggin.
Matt Scoggin has done everything at Texas you could do. He won 2 NCAA titles himself when he was a diver there. And then when he became coach, he started winning right off the bat. And now divers have won 21 national titles individually. He can do it all.
And think about Eddie. If he wins this weekend, that's 5 different decades, 40 straight years of top 10 performances, 14 titles, 12 times runner-up, without a doubt, the greatest collegiate swim coach in history.
And the Cal Bears have the lead by 27 points over Texas, but that is going to evaporate pretty quickly because of what is coming next. Right now, Florida's in third and Georgia in fourth. Now the 400 IM, the championship final. Chase Kalish has the record, set in 2017. Sean Grisham of Cal is in lane number 5, and he was the runner-up the 400 IM and the NCAAs in 2019. And lane 4, 5, and 6, he is surrounded by a pair of Longhorns, a pair of brothers, Carson Foster and Jake Foster. Carson, a freshman, the top qualifier. He's the second fastest in history in the 400 IM. And Jake, his brother, a sophomore, no slouch himself. Look at that. 4 Longhorns in the A final.
Wow. I mean, this is, again, if Texas wins this overall championship, they will certainly point to the 400 IM, an event they had nobody in 2 years ago.
Nobody.
It's just incredible what the Longhorns can do year in and year out.
Take your mark.
This is the first time, Rich, since 2015, 5 years ago, that a team has had 4 or more in a final. You might remember that one, where they had a mind-boggling 6 and a historic Hunter Butterfly on their way to winning the national title. This is, I mean, let's say they just average 15. This is 60 points just on average. I have a feeling they're going to score a lot more than that because Carson Foster's a huge favorite here. Comes in, as you said, second fastest performer in history. That record, I don't know, 3:33.42. That's a monster record as well by Chase Kalish. That might be too far out, but boy, the way this young man is swimming, just a freshman, he could do it.
Got the trim about 1.85 seconds off his previous best time, 3:35.27, which is the 3rd fastest swim in history, behind only a couple by Kalish. Now, Cal really needs to get as many points possible from Sean Grisham.
Right.
But his best time is 1.8 seconds behind that of Carson Foster, the freshman leading right now in lane 4 for Texas. Unlikely that Grisham will win.
But his best time is the second fastest of any of this group. So, no, he will not beat Carson Foster most likely, but if he can grab second and hang on to that, not slip down at all, that's a good position. He's a great freestyler, talking about Sean Grisham. So if he's within, I'd say, a second of the rest of the field, except for Bobby Fink, who might have a better freestyler, then he could definitely run a lot of people down that last 100.
Carson Foster of Texas with the lead. First came to national prominence at age 10 when he broke Michael Phelps' national age group record in the 100-meter fly.
He's always had a good front half. His first 200 is as good as anybody in the world. This is where Chase Kalish was so amazing. He was 58.6 on that third 100 breaststroke. That is just, again, talk about mind-blowing, unbelievable. The fastest this morning was 101 flat. And that was, guess who? His brother, Jake Foster, who's up there in lane number 6. Great breaststroker, and he'll start to make his move now. Bobby Fink looking really solid for Florida, Rich. Remember, he has perhaps the best freestyle of anybody. So this is great news. In fact, Fink outsplit Foster by about 2 seconds. So Foster, to be safe, should have a 2-second lead on Fink.
Carson Foster, the Texas freshman, with the lead. Transitioning now to freestyle.
Let's see, 2:46.1 to 2:47.4. So Fink definitely has a chance. I think Carson Foster backed off in the preliminaries to know he needed enough to do what he needed to do here in the finals. But Fink's going to make it interesting. There's no doubt about it. And here comes Sean Grisham right there in lane number 5. The 2 really solid freestylers. Remember, Fink is the fastest in history in the mile. And that split right there, 25.6. And here comes Fink.
He got 25 yards to chase down Carson Foster. And what a great turn by Fink.
Fink's going to do it. Unbelievable here.
Bobby Fink of Florida, 3:36.9. That's a personal best for Fink by more than 2 seconds.
And this is a case where you have to do the job in the morning. We didn't even show Hugo Gonzalez in the B final, and he went faster than the A finals. Might have been a big different story when you're racing, but that's why you've got to get the job done in the morning and at night. And Bobby Fink kept it close. I said within 2 seconds he had a chance. He was a second and a half, and I thought, wow, boy, I don't know, not with Carson Foster, what he's able to provide. Remember, Foster's been 335. And here, watch this last turn. You said it, Rich. Watch the last turn. Just a touch behind Foster, but watch what he does when he comes off of this. He's 23.8 his last 50. 23.8. Fink, I mean, Carson Foster 25.9 on the end. That's not bad. Grisham 24.8. But how do you beat a 23.8 on the end? Is he going to have a great mile? Holy smokes, that is a swim. Go Gators.
Texas goes 2-5-6-8. If my quick math is correct, that's 55 points for them. But Bobby Fink of Florida is the winner in the 400 IM. All right, Bobby, not only do you get the win, but you have your personal best time by 2.25 seconds. How'd you do it?
I really just got to shout out all the staff at home and then our trainers here this past month. It's just been like a whirlwind. So many things have been happening, and it's just honestly a huge shout out to them.
You know, Bobby, you were home. I don't know if you've seen your split. You're home 49.4, 23.8 your last 50. Almost a second and a half down at the 300 mark. How do you explain that poise you showed in that amazing race?
I don't know. I was just trying to tell myself to stay calm throughout the fly and then work my arms on the backstroke and just try and stay underwater on the breaststroke, because swimming breaststroke for me is just really slow. I have to stay underwater on the pullouts. So.
Wow, well, it looked great to us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Way to go.
All right, Bobby Fink of Florida wins the 400 IM. We expect him to win the 1650, but the 4 IM, it's Fink of Florida who takes it. With 8 events down, Texas, check it out, they have a 3-point lead on Cal. They had a 30-point gain in the 400 IM. So Texas, then Cal, then Florida, and Georgia. And now the 100 butterfly. Caleb Dressel set the records back at the 2018 NCAA championships in lane number 4. Ryan Hoffer of Cal won the 50 free, and that was the repeat championship for him from back in 2019. His 2 times at the NCAAs here, 6th and 7th in the 100 fly. Take a look at the start list. 1 for Cal. Alvin Jang will be in lane number 2 for Texas. But for the Georgia Bulldogs in lane number 3 is Camden Murphy, 19th in 2018 in the 100 fly, and then 5th 2 years ago.
Hoffer and Murph are 2 seniors that will be sorely missed by Coach Jack Bowerly from Georgia and, of course, Dave Durden of Cal. Hoffer went 44.2 in the prelims. That made him the 4th fastest performer in history. Does he have enough here to get under 44? I think he does. Only 3 swimmers in history have ever broken 44. Of course, Caleb Dressel and Joe Schooling and the legendary Tom Shields with Cal.
Take your mark.
You saw that Hoffer was swimming fast in the 50 free. He's got a shot at 3 titles in this one with a 100 coming up.
20.6 in the prelims, on his way to that 44.2. Definitely has the speed. There's a lot of good closers in here, though. Albiero, Orlando, Murphy's a good closer. They are under 21 as well. 20.5 right there, but all 8 swimmers were under 21 that first 50.
Yeah, Hoffer had it by just a 10th over Danny Kovac of Missouri down in lane 1. Final turn there, and Ryan Hoffer of Cal in the yellow cap.
Boy, he's got great underwaters, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Here comes Hoffer, 2 above of Nicholas Albiero, and it's Hoffer who takes it by 7 100ths over Albiero. 44-25. That is now the 10th fastest swim in history. 1 100th behind the 9th fastest, which was Hoffer this morning.
Watch him off the blocks. Not especially quick reaction time, but what he does underwater is so critical. You see him right there? He waits just a split second. I was talking to the great coach Brett Hawk earlier, and he said he holds his line just for a fraction of a second because he uses that speed of the start and the turns themselves before he starts into that kick. And what a kick he does have at the halfway point. 20.5 on the way out. A lot of fast swimmers, though, on the way out. I said that Albiero would close, and he did in a big way. He came close. Here's the underwater off the last wall. Again, watch the man, Hoffer. You see, he waits just a second before he gets into that great dolphin kick. Albiero was charging, wasn't he, Rich? Oh, that was close. Long on the finish, too, for Albiero. Almost caught him at the end, but that's 2 for 2 for Hoffer.
Yes, it is. Albiero just 7 100ths behind. Camden Murphy 17 100ths behind. Ryan Hoffer, a 2-time champion here in this meet. Ryan, you became the 2nd fastest swimmer ever in the 50 free. You're now the 5th fastest ever in the 100 fly. What's enabled you to do this?
You know, just the support from my teammates. Obviously the Cal fans and family members. I mean, I'm just so grateful that we could, you know, really go through this season and, you know, finish strong.
You know, your timing is impeccable, 2 for 2 individually, but I imagine you're thinking the whole time team and points in this situation.
Yeah, that would be correct. I mean, what I'm doing right now is for the team, and you know, if that W brings us 1 step closer, then you know that makes me even more happy.
Congrats on another great win.
Thank you so much, and go Bears.
All right, Ryan Hoffer of Cal, and later on in the meet, he'll swim the 100 free. He's got a chance for 3 wins. Andrew Seliskar got 3 wins for Cal back in 2019.
Got a huge star. That was the 200 free. He went 130 point, won that race by almost a second and a half. And you know what, Rich? How about good measure of going a complete opposite way? He won the 200 breaststroke. The following day, 148.7. Throw in the 200 IM for good measure. Yeah, 3-time winner.
Yeah, Seliskar just the 4th since 2000 to win 3 races in 1 championship meet. Texas now with a 5-point lead on Cal. Oh, baby, it is close. Just about, not quite, halfway through this meet. And now the championship final of the 200 free. Dean Ferris set the record for Harvard back in the 800 freestyle relay leadoff in 2019. We have 3 for the Texas Julian in lane number 3. Kieran Smith of Florida in lane number 5 was 2nd in the 500 free. Didn't swim the 200 free at the SEC, swam the 400 IM instead and won the title. How good is this guy?
Yeah, he is really good, and I think he's looking for a little redemption here. He did not attack that 500 like he should have in the finals. At least the middle part of that race had to come from too far behind. There to the 2 Cal and Texas right next to each other, Kibler and Trenton. Julian. Watch for Kibler to take it out fast. When he led off the 800 pre-relay earlier, he was 43 flat on the way out to 130.6. Now, Smith went 129.6, a full second faster, but he was 43.4 on the feet. So he will definitely come back, just like he did in the 500. He just can't let Kibler get too far out front.
Kibler's out front right now. Just above him, Kieran Smith of Florida. And above him is Peter Larson of Texas. In the yellow cap in lane 3, Trenton Julian of Cal, who was out very fast in the 500 free, but then faded to 4th.
Well, Rich, Kibler's doing what he's known to do. He's going to go out fast, but what the key is Smith has not let him get away. He's 43.2 on the way out, but Smith's 43.7. So if you're thinking I'm Kieran Smith, I've got you right where I want you to be based on my back half of what I can provide, especially the last 50.
How about the range of these Florida swimmers, Bobby Fink and Kieran Smith?
Right. I don't know. Kibler's still looking good. And 23-1 for Smith, 23-2 for Kibler, and Julian 23-3. So you've got the 3 right there. Smith has not done it yet.
Final turn there. Drew Kibler of Texas trying to get 20 valuable points for the Longhorns. Just above him, Kieran Smith of Florida.
Smith's going to do it.
Smith passes him and wins it in a time of 1:30.1. How about that, Kieran Smith? That is the 5th fastest swim of all time. And Kieran has 2 of the top 5.
I think he's so much more excited about just getting the win. Again, the clock, it's like when we talked to Shane Casas in the IM earlier. It really doesn't matter at this point. Here's going in the last wall. Smith's on the right, and you can see him just starting to inch up on him. Slingshots that last turn right there, comes up really with a lot of magic, a lot of force. Kibler hung in there, though. That dude, man, he hung in there, went his best time, 1:30.3, came home in 22.8. But you don't think Smith's happy to get the victory. Didn't quite get it done in the 500, made up for it here in the 200.
Yep, Kieran Smith of Florida is an NCAA champion of the 200 free. A reason to celebrate, looking up into the stands to his teammates. He wins it. Texas ends up going 2nd, 4th, and 8th. They pick up big points. Trenton Julian of Cal ends up finishing in 3rd. Kieran, 3 years of hard work. You finally have an NCAA championship. How does that feel?
Yeah, this was really emotional. I was devastated last year when the meet got canceled because I felt like I had a couple good shots at winning a title, and fell a little short in the 500 yesterday, so beyond happy to get my hand on the wall first tonight.
Yeah, I think the excitement was obvious.
Yeah.
Getting the win, Kieran, but I think your Gators right now, a solid 3rd, so how much of that emotion was a factor as well?
Oh my God, when I was watching Bobby's race, I couldn't believe my eyes. That got me going tonight.
I can imagine.
Yeah, you guys have incredible range, the 2 of you. Congratulations on a great win in the 200.
Thanks.
Kieran Smith wins the 200 free and celebrates. 3 years of hard work, and he's got his first NCAA title. The NCAA Women's Volleyball Regionals are this Friday and Saturday across the ESPN networks and the ESPN app. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Coming up, we have the 100 back. Ryan Murphy back in 2016 set the NCAA and American record that still stands.
Unbelievable, 43.4 as the only male swimmer in history to win the 100 and 200 in the individual stroke events all 4 years. He joins Brendan Hansen, John Naver, and Pablo Morales.
Yeah, Murphy was something in short course, something in long course, as well as a double gold medal winner. He'll try to defend those this summer in Tokyo. Texas with a 32-point lead on Cal now. Florida having a great session. They are in 3rd place. There's that mark, 43-49, set by Ryan Murphy. Shane Casas of Texas A&M is in lane number 4. Already won the 200 IM in this meet.
Yeah, he definitely has a chance to break 44 and would join some elite company, including himself. He's already been 43.8. Is that record in sight? Well, maybe not this year, just a junior, but he'll have a chance next year, as will his freshman teammate, Lasko. Watch him charge home the last 50. He came home this morning in 22.8, just a freshman. Wow. There were 7 guys that broke 45 seconds this morning, Rich, in the preliminaries. And the 8th, Medford from Cal, was 45 flat. There's a lot of speed here in this final in the 100 back.
Keep your eyes in the middle of the pool. Shane Casas of Texas A&M, lane 4 in the white cap. Above him, Destin Lasko of Cal in the yellow cap, lane 5.
Take your mark.
In the medley relay earlier. He was leading off. He led off in 44.4, but that was his third event of the session. So at least he comes in fresh here. He didn't have an event before this. He didn't have a relay. So I really think that Casas is going to have a very good event here. Right there in the middle, as you mentioned. 21-1, a little quicker than he was in the prelims, faster than he was on the relay. A lot of guys bunched up there in 21 mid as well.
Casas already the 4th fastest swimmer in history in the 100 back. He's in the white cap. He's got the lead on Lasko. Kasper Stukowski of NC State in lane 3, and it's Casas that has it, 44.2. He wins the 100 back. Stukowski knows is in front of Lasko for 2nd place, and Lasko 3rd.
Well, Casas just did what he had to do. That's exactly what he did earlier in the 200 IM. And when you look back at the replay, it wasn't anything electric, especially when you're coming from Casas. Right there, you can see him as a white cap, goes a little deeper than the rest of the swimmers, has great body position as he comes off that wall, and that catch becomes such an important part of the stroke. That's where he was coming into the last wall right there. He's got that rounded back, and he's always thinking technique. And everyone assumes it's the legs when you come off the wall, but he engages his whole body, and boy, it was close though, a lot closer than he would like. 17/100ths of a second off of a great swim by Stukowski, who went his best time.
The Aggies' Shane Casas, a 2-time winner here at the NCAAs. 44.2 to take it. Kasper Stukowski of NC State, 17/100ths back. Then Destin Lasko of Cal finished in 3rd. Shane Casas of Texas A&M, he's a multiple winner. What about 1-meter springboard champion Jordan Wendell? He's looking for his 2nd win on 3-meter coming up from Greensboro. In the 3-meter springboard event, Texas freshman Noah DePere finished 3rd in the consolation final, adding 6 important points to the Longhorns team score. 1-meter champion Jordan Wendell qualified 3rd in the championship final, a contest that got off to a spectacular start with another diver, Indiana's Andrew Capobianco, and his first round dive.
That entry was so silky and smooth, and he's been changing his forward approach out to the end of the springboard, and he handled that beautifully, and he's leading after the first round with over 90 points on the first round.
Yeah, 8.5s and 9s with a degree of difficulty of 3.4. That's a 91.8 for Capobianco. Capobianco held the lead through 3 rounds, but in round 4, Wendell offered this response. Jordan Wendell of Texas now in 2nd place by 7.15 points, heading into his 4th of 6 dives.
Oh, that's the kind of dive that Jordan Wendell did all day long in practice. And this is the best reverse 3.5 that we've seen. This is huge. This is going to put the pressure on everybody. When he kicks out of that dive and doesn't arch his back and goes in the water without almost any splash, maybe a teacup full.
Look at that. 3 9.5s, 96.25. With 2 rounds to go, it was clear that Wendell and Capobianco would battle for the title. And now the leader, Jordan Wendell from Morrisville, North Carolina, about 65 miles east of here in Greensboro. Born in Cambodia, adopted at 18 months old, returned for the first time to Cambodia in May of 2016 to put on a diving clinic.
He's putting on a bit of a diving clinic right now.
Yes, he is.
Aside from a little bit too much distance going out in the middle of the pool, this is spectacular. He is so dynamic, and he just knows what he's doing so well. He's such a good student, and he's worked very hard, and Matt Scoggin has worked hard with him, knowing all of his talents, his skills. Used to be known as just a platform diver.
Not anymore, clearly. Andrew Capobianco with the leader, Jordan Wendell, in the background. Capobianco in second place heading into this round. Second place by about 5 points, but Wendell had a big dive. Capobianco needs likewise.
He needs 9s. He needs 9s to go ahead of Jordan Wendell. They've battled it out before. Jordan Wendell has become so much better on springboard.
Pretty good.
Oh, yes. That might just get those 9s. I just don't see a whole lot wrong with that dive. I would have scored it a 9, maybe with a little more stretch going in the water. This is a great contest. Jordan Wendell and Andrew Capobianco are putting on that clinic you talked about. Wow. He goes ahead by 3.4 points.
Capobianco, what a time to do it.
Stepping up.
Andrew Capobianco, look at that 3.4 point lead over Jordan Wendell. And there's Anton Down Jenkins and Juan Hernandez. 2 big dives for Wendell and Capobianco. And now Jordan Wendell in second place by 3.4 points. It comes down to Wendell and then the final diver, a couple away, Andrew Capobianco.
So we know that Capobianco has 4/10 degree of difficulty more than this particular dive. And Jordan Wendell changed 3 of his dives, 3 of them, to harder dives in the finals. Oh, that is so well performed off the board. He slides just barely. It's those little bitty details that can make the difference on whether you win or take second place. And he just barely slides past vertical there. Will that determine whether he is first or second, that entry into the water? Because the takeoff looked terrific.
Your winner will either be Jordan Wendell or that man, Andrew Capobianco of Indiana, in his last dive, the last dive of the competition. 3.8 degree of difficulty. What does he need?
7s. He needs 7s on this dive, and this is a dive that he got 100 points on in 2019. 100 points, 8.5s and 9s. He's your winner.
Wow.
He's your winner. There's a reason why he puts that dive last. Not only the degree of difficulty, but the fact that he has confidence in this dive. It's the hardest dive he does. And why not end with something like that when you know this can win almost every contest for you? Huge, huge 4.5 somersault. And look at that entry, smooth, vertical, yes. Jordan Wendell appreciates all of his competitors. You gotta love it.
Yeah, diving's a great community, and these guys appreciate each other's work. You've got a 9.5 by one judge, 98.8, 505.2 total for Andrew Capobianco. That's the highest since Sam Dorman's record back in 2015 of 529. And Capobianco, 505.2 to win the 3-meter springboard competition. Jordan Wendell, who won 1 meter, finishes in second. Juan Hernandez finishes third on both springboards. That is his 4th third-place finish, matching his best at the NCAAs over his 4-year career. How important was it for you to win this competition so close to home?
Yeah, it was really important. I'm just really glad to do it for the Hoosiers and for my family back home. I know they wish they could be here, so I'm really happy.
Andrew, you were so spectacular, scoring over 90 points on half of your dives. And your coach told me that you were changing your approach and your hurdle at this point in the season, getting ready for the trials and the Olympics possibly. How can you do all these things with confidence knowing that you're changing things?
It's all just trusting in my coach. I know that he's the man and he's got my back all the way, so I just trust him every step of the way.
Well, you guys are quite a duo. We wish you well and spectacular performance.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck. All right, both our springboard winners are North Carolinians. We're here in Greensboro. Jordan Wendell from Morrisville, North Carolina, and Andrew Capobianco takes the 3-meter. He's from Holly Springs. He is an NCAA champion again. 8 events remaining, and Texas has padded their lead over Cal. They lead by 46 points as we head to the 200 medley relay. And the 5th of 6 timed finals, and this one will feature the Texas Longhorns in lane number 4. Texas has the record set back in 2017. But Texas and Cal not in the same heat.
Yeah, the heats now have been expanded, and obviously there are no prelims and finals in 4 of the 5 relays. Historically, only the 800 free relay had time finals, but because of COVID, they need to space it out a little bit. You have 4 teams in here, 4 in the next heat. Again, heat, so a time potentially could win from the early heat, and that's Texas. They won the 400 medley relay, Rich.
Christaka starting matters off for Texas in lane number 4. That's 2 from the bottom.
He was in the consoles of the 100 backstroke earlier. They've got 3 guys following Staka that were all finalists in their respective 100 and 50 freestyles. So they've got some power coming back at the end. Right now they're going to go in 4th at 20.9. Well, tied for 3rd, rather, with Bama. Minkin was 20.9 as well.
Great Shane Costas started matters off for Texas A&M at the bottom. He handed it off to Tanner Olson. Casper Corbeau in the water now for Texas in lane 4.
Yeah, he's 20.6, Costas was.
Hudson McDaniel for Ohio State with the lead after taking over from Hunter Armstrong. McDaniel gives it off to Justin Flegel.
Yeah, 22-7, and they were DQ'd in the 400 medley relay, so there's nothing more that Ohio State would want here than a big win in this 4th heat. They've got 4 solid legs. Here comes Texas. Short on the finish there, but 19-8 on Jiang. 19-8.
What a great leg for Alvin Jang, and now Daniel Kruger taking matters into his own hands for Texas, and above him, it's Sam Andrus of Ohio State.
Kruger was 7th in the 50. No, Ohio State gets it.
By 7 100ths, Ohio State ahead of Texas in this next to last time final.
Let's go! Wow, that was without a doubt a huge upset.
Ohio State Sam Andreas out-touching Texas's Daniel Kruger. Ohio State now with the time to beat 122.49 with the 6th and final heat to follow. And there the Cal Bears ready to go in this final heat. They'll be in lane 2. That'll be at the bottom of your screen. Daniel Carr, Reese Whitley, Ryan Hoffer, and Bjorn Seeliger.
Carr comes in for Lasco. Again, Cal was 2nd in the 400 medley relay, so they're going with a senior Carr. They're at the bottom of your screen. This is so important for Cal. Absolutely the single most critical relay until perhaps we get to the 400 free relay for Cal.
Yep, they trail Texas by 46 points. The 8 events remaining, including this one. Texas was in the previous heat, and they finished 2nd in that heat.
They have amazing last 3 legs. Whitley was 3rd in the 100 breast. Hoffer won the 100 flying. Seeliger was 3rd in the 50 free. And there's a 20.5 for Cheney. He was 9th in the 100 backstroke. 20.7 though for Cal, and that will do just fine.
And now Reese Whitley in the water for Cal for the breaststroke leg.
Florida has 2 amazing first 2 legs. They're up there in lane 8. Dylan Hillis was 2nd in the 100 breaststroke.
Eric Reeves will take over for Florida. Nicholas Albiero for Louisville. Trevor Wright for Michigan. And Ryan Hoffer for Cal at the bottom. He's got some ground to make up.
Yeah, Hoffer's got a lot of ground to make up. This is exactly what happened on the first 2 legs of the 400 medley relay, and they just couldn't quite do it. Hoffer put it back into the 400 medley relay, but I don't know about this one. 19.7 though for Hoffer. Freeze from Florida was 19.8. But who's in front? It's Louisville.
Gus Borges of Michigan, Haridi Semeh of Louisville, Will Davis of Florida, and Bjorn Seeliger of Cal. It's Louisville that has it, 122-11, and Florida finishes second. Cal third, 122-43, which, going back to the previous heat, is 13 100ths better than Texas.
Cal does finish ahead of Texas, but you know what? The story here is Louisville. 100% Louisville. How about this? Mitchell White, he's a top 16 type backstroker. Somov was fourth in the 100 breast. Albiero was second in the 100 fly. And then Same at the end, he was 26th in the 50 freestyle. 26th, and he goes 18-4. Oh my goodness.
The final results from the 200 medley relay. Louisville, the ACC champions. They won the Team ACC title for the first time ever, and they win the 200 medley relay here at the NCAAs. Florida second, Cal third, Texas fifth. So Cal picks up 4 points on Texas. Rowdy, you know they hoped for more.
Yeah, this is a little bittersweet for both teams because Texas and Cal were both in it to win it. And to get third and fifth has to be a disappointment. Probably a little bit more so for Cal than Texas because they have a big lead.
And Nick Albiero and his Louisville Cardinal teammates join us. And Nick, everybody wishes their dad could be here to watch him, but yours actually can because he's also your head coach, Arthur Albiero. What does it mean for you to get the first ever relay win for Louisville at the NCAAs here in your senior year?
It means everything. I was just so inspired after the first two guys. I did what I could. It's been a long day, but I'm so happy with the result, and Haridi just finished so well for us.
What did you say to these guys? They're the same four guys that finished fourth in the 400 medley. Right. You're right there. You know you've got a chance, but I don't think there are a lot of people in the swimming world that actually picked you guys to win it. What were the words to these teammates of yours?
Let's do it. You know, we thought we had a good chance yesterday, and I said the same thing yesterday, and again, just so proud of them and bringing it home for the Cards.
Oh, boy. Go celebrate this one, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you, Rowdy. Thank you.
Haridi Semeh and the Louisville Cardinals celebrate the first ever NCAA relay win for Louisville. Our coverage of the NCAA Men's Swimming and Diving Championships continue. 15 events down, 6 to go. Texas now with a 51-point lead on Cal. Texas gained 7 points in the 1650. Now to the championship final of the 200 back. Ryan Murphy set the record back in 2016. And we have 3 for Cal and 2 for Texas in this one. It's a chance for the Golden Bears to start working their way back, chipping into that lead. And Destin Lasko of Cal is in lane number 4, a freshman. Already in this meet, third in the 200 IM, third in the 100 back. He's the Pac-12 champion. In lane number 5 is the 4th fastest 200 back swimmer ever. Shane Casas trailing only Murphy, John Shebbett, and Austin Katz.
And this is a fantastic field. This is one of the few events from 2 years ago that so many returning swimmers will be in this final. 4 of the top 6 from 2019 will be in this final right here. So yeah, this is a heck of a final. We've got Austin Katz up there in 7. Beach returns. Carson Foster, the freshman, there in 3. Acevedo, the senior, down there in 1. Oh, this is...
Take your mark.
You mentioned Austin Katz in lane number 7. He was the champion of this event 3 years ago at the NCAAs, and he has the 3rd fastest time in history.
Yeah, 4 of the 10 fastest in history are in this race. Again, shows you the strength of backstroke. Not only on the U.S. level, but obviously on the collegiate level. Casas out 22-3, looking very comfortable. The angle on that water for him stays just so consistent. He gets into that turn, finds that sweet spot of not being too deep off the wall. Certainly not too shallow where he breaks too early.
Just below Casas, In lane number 4, Destin Lasco of Cal. He had the 10th fastest swim ever in the morning prelims and became the 6th fastest swimmer ever. It's a battle between Casas and Lasco.
Well, Lasco's out a lot faster than he went this morning, which really proves potentially bad news for Casas because he was 48 flat, 49-1 coming home. And he is having a great 75 yards right here. And now Casas has got a race on him. They are 2 100ths of a second apart.
Look at him, Rowdy. That's almost synchronized swimming right there.
Wow, watch him. Boom, right there together. There they go. This is going to be one for the ages.
Look at Lasco. Great underwaters there after a strong turn. Will it be Lasco or Casas? Great final few yards for Shane Casas, and he gets him by a quarter of a second. Shane Casas, a 3-time winner at the 2021 NCAA Men's Swimming and Diving Championship.
Oh, and so very close. The shake of the head, maybe just because he was 2 100ths of a second off of Murph's record.
Oh. 2 100ths of a second. 1:35.99 for Destin Lasco is the 3rd fastest swim ever.
Wow, what a tremendous race this was. Both of these guys, they pounce on that wall, use that great core strength they have. Look at the underwater dolphin kick. They engage their whole body as they kick off that wall. They have tremendous ankle flexibility. And then you said it, synchronized swimming down the stretch into that turn, that last wall as they came off. Casas coming home in 24.2, Lasco 24.4. How about those 2 last 50s right there from 2 incredible swimmers? Lasco comes up just a little bit ahead of Casas, and Casas did it right here, last 5 yards in the wall. Tempo increases just enough to nail that finish, Rich. Just the difference. 2nd and 3rd fastest in history, and he's going, oh,
he's
so
looking
close.
At it. Yep, 2 100ths away. He knew that mark by Murphy in his head, 1:35.73, and the oldest individual swim record on the books lives to see another day. Casas 2 100ths off Ryan Murphy's record set 5 years ago. Lasco, the 3rd fastest swim in history. And look at Cal, they go 2, 3, and 4, and then Texas 5 and 6. It's another win for Shane Casas, a 3-time winner. How have you been able to do this?
A lot of hard work and dedication and visualization. You know, I really saw myself doing this for months, a year plus now, and I'm glad it finally came to real life.
You know, you get the 200 IM out of the way, you get the 100 back out of the way, and then it's a long meet. How do you go that fast on the very last individual event that you have?
I think I did a good job at balancing and managing my energy throughout the relays and individuals and stuff. But I also started to feel like I was finally warming up to the meet, and I really felt like I had something special tonight, and I'm excited that I was able to race and put up a good time.
That's a great time. Congratulations, buddy. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yep, something special indeed. He knew it. His coach, Jay Holmes, knew it. Big hug for Shane Casas afterwards. And Rowdy, there's one word in my mind that describes Dressel. Amazing.
Here comes Dressel. 37, 38, 39. He didn't do it, but he breaks 40.
39.9 for Caleb Dressel, the first one ever to go under 40.
Let's put it in perspective. He was 1896 on his feet. That would have been 4th in this year's 50 freestyle.
There's that record, 39.9 from back in 2018. And Ryan Hoffer of Cal in lane number 4. At this meet, he has already become the 2nd fastest ever in the 50 free, 5th fastest in the 100 fly, now the 5th fastest in the 100 free after his prelims. And more importantly, he's already picked up 40 big individual points for his team. We've got 2 for Cal and 2 for Texas, including Drew Kibler, the 2nd qualifier this morning. He's in lane number 5, 2nd in the 200 free earlier in this meet.
I don't think anybody, maybe with the exception of Kieran Smith, I don't think anybody has the range that Drew Kibler has. He has just been spectacular. Second in the 200, fifth in the 500s. He could have gone 18 plus. He didn't swim the 50 here. There's Hoffer, though. He's got great range on the sprints anyway. Oh, boy, he's got some speed.
So let me ask you, Rowdy, Dressel's record is 39.9. Hoffer's probably not touching that. We all know that. He's got the top 5 times in history, the fifth of which is 40.68. Can Hoffer get there?
That he does, because he's been improving the whole meet in the finals. He's gone a little faster from prelims to finals in both of his individual races. That's why I think he's still got some left. It's a long meet, though. It's a long meet. It can definitely take its toll, and Hoffer has carried this Cal team on his shoulders here, especially on the relays.
Bjorn Seeliger of Cal in lane number 6. 2 above Hoffer, 1 below him. Daniel Kruger, the Big 12 champ for Texas.
There were 6 guys out and under 20 in the prelims. There's 7 guys under 20 right now. No, 6 guys again under 20. 19.5 for Hoffer. He was 19.7 this morning, so he's well on his way. Look at that underwater. Oh, that dude can fly underwater.
His personal best, 40.9. Here comes Ryan Hoffer of Cal again, 40.89. It's a personal best by 1/100th. That's the 11th fastest time ever. Texas ends up tying for second. And then Bjorn Seeliger of Cal finishes 4th. And Ryan Hoffer, like Shane Casas of Texas A&M, now with 3 wins at this meet.
Boy, that was a close race for second. Watch this start. You want to try to explode with your arms and that back foot. The arms actually really push up against that block. It explodes out and then underwater. You know, everybody assumes it's the legs with him as he comes into the halfway point. 19.5 on the way out. But he's got to have tremendous lower back flexibility. We talked about the flexibility of ankles and the hyperextended knees, and the transition that he has that does so well, Rich, is the transition from the dolphin kick to actually taking that first stroke in the freestyle. You're fighting through a lot of chop. Look at all these dudes, man. They are bringing in a lot of waves, man. That is one huge wave. He slips right up underneath it and gets the job done. Look, last one to pop to the surface. 12 meters down the pool, 12 yards down the pool, puts his head down here, doesn't breathe. Perfect finish, 40.8. He's a good one.
Yes, he is. And so Hoffer, then Kruger and Kibler, and then Hoffer's teammate Seeliger. So Cal gets 35 points out of that A final, and Texas gets 33. No bragging rights for Kruger and Kibler as they tie for second at 41.59. Ryan Hoffer of Cal, another 3-time winner. Personal best twice in one day. But how important was it for you to get those 20 points for your team?
Oh, you know, it means everything. And right now we're doing everything we can to, you know, keep on par with Texas. So, hey, you know, I'm just really happy with my swim and happy with how my underclassmen are swimming. You know, so what an honor. What if I meet?
I know this is a crazy question, but I've talked about your turns all week long, and they're just amazing. Can you teach us how to do that in about 10 seconds? Or tell us how you do it in 10 seconds?
I'll tell you what, though, it took a lot of time to get my stroke count, my kick count, so that I'm not too far, not too close to that wall. So just really nailing down those specifics, like really knowing my race was super important into getting those turns to like perfection.
That's great.
Well, you just keep on winning. Yep. Three wins at the Pac-12s, 3 wins here, and continued success.
Thank you so much, and go Bears.
All right, Ryan Hoffer of Cal takes the 100 free. And speaking of Bears, Reese Whitley, that's his look after his morning prelim swim. He'll be featured in the 200 breaststroke. Coming right up.
Let's go.
Back at the NCAA Swimming and Diving Championships, Texas with a 27-point lead on Cal with 4 events to go. Coming down to the wire here. And now the 200 breast. Will Lacone set the record back in 2017. Max McHugh of Minnesota in lane number 5. Earlier in the meet, he won the 100 breast.
Yeah, and Rich, he was the only swimmer here from Minnesota. He made the most of it. So close to breaking 50 all year long, out in 23.5, back in 26.6, and so close again. 50.18, big win, though, for this young man.
Yes, it was. And here in the championship final, the 200, Cal has 2, and Texas has 1. Reese Whitley is in lane number 4, second fastest swimmer in history in the 200-yard breast. Set the Pac-12 conference record at a dual meet back in November. Only Will Lacone is faster.
He's got the medal to do it here. There's no question about it. You saw his face after the prelims this morning. I think he was going, that was the easiest 149 I ever did in the 200 breast.
2 for Cal in this, 1 for Texas.
Take your mark.
Lacone split 51.4 on the way out to that 147. McHugh's definitely going to have the speed. He'll have a lot more speed. Whitley will do it in the back half.
Max in lane number 5, just above Whitley. By the way, if you're keeping an eye on the Cal Bears, at the bottom is Hugo Gonzalez. He does not have a yellow cap on. Just above him, Kyle Pumputs of Georgia Tech does have the yellow cap. And then Reese Whitley in lane number 4 of Cal, likewise no yellow cap.
4 strokes. I just counted 4 strokes for Reese Whitley. How about that? How about years? Whitley there on the left. A little bit better. Have to kind of feel like you're swimming in a pool 1 foot deep sometimes in breaststroke, and you could just see that lunge into that third 50, and this is where he really made his move. That 7th 25 from 150 to 175, and from underwater you can see how he rides the glide, Rich. It's not an easy thing to do in short course. Much easier obviously in a long course pool, not easy in short course, but the extension he has, and you see Reese, he lifted his head up just a little bit. Needs to keep his head down the whole way, the whole pull out. And just a little bit ran out of gas at the end. McHugh just saw it all the way through. He comes home in 29 or 28.7, Whitley 29.2, and that's the difference because otherwise they're dead even.
Yep, told you that the Texas fans would be pulling for Max McHugh of Minnesota, and he wins it. They're jumping up and down in his hometown of Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin, as well as in Minneapolis. Max McHugh, a 2-time champion. Some highlights from a few other races. The meet began with the 800 freestyle relay.
And it was a huge start for the Longhorns. Kibler, Katz, Foster, and Jake Sannon, the senior, finishes in 132 flat. They beat Cal by about a 1.5 seconds. Brilliant start for Texas.
Yes, it was. The Longhorns taking the first race, and then the first individual race was the 500 free.
What an individual race to start with. Kieran Smith trying to chase down the freshman. Jake McGahee runs out of room. 1/10 of a second for the first win for this young guy.
Big win for McGahee from Georgia. And then in the 1650, Bobby Fink of Florida did his thing.
Well, Florida gets a little revenge here. Bobby Fink now has the 3 fastest time. Hear all those bells? That's with 50 left to go for most of the other kids. He's already won. Oh, just misses his record. He wins the race by 16 seconds over that freshman, Jake McGahee.
And Texas has the lead on the Cal Bears. Now stands at 21 points. Florida in 3rd, then Georgia in 4th place. Now the 200 fly. Jack Conger set the records at the 2017 NCAA championships. This one features 1 for Cal and 1 for Texas. Also features in lane number 4, Nicholas Albiero of Louisville. We have 2 guys here who want to win this race for themselves, for their team, and for their fathers. Albiero's dad is the head coach at Louisville, Arthur Albiero. And then there's Trenton Julian of Cal in lane number 5. His dad right now, a lung cancer survivor, has recently been in treatment for stomach cancer, and he told me after winning the 200 fly at the Pac-12s, he's been targeting this one. He wants to win this race. He wants to win this for him, his team, and his dad.
What a story for this young man, a senior And he's right next to another senior who is another wonderful story, Nick Albiero in lane number 4, who said son of Coach Albiero, part of that relay that won earlier in the 200 medley. Oh, this is, you want to pull for both of them.
Take your mark.
There's some other wonderful stories as well. Luca Orlando up there, just a freshman in lane 6 from Georgia, could be the spoiler in all of this. 5 of the 9 fastest times in history, by the way, are in this race.
Wow. And Albiero in lane number 4, the last individual winner for Louisville was Joao DeLuca, 2014 in the 200 free. If Albiero were to win this, it would be the 3rd all-time individual swim race winner for Louisville. But Trenton Julian of Cal with the lead right now. Yellow cap in lane number 5.
Looks very smooth right there. He's focusing on staying forward and low on his catch. 3 feet really looking sync right now early on. His entry, his head press, his kick, all look really good. 46.6 on the way out. Albiero is 5th at 47.4. Not out of it, but he'll have to do it coming from behind. He's done that before in his career, no question about it.
Remember, Julian took the 500 free out very fast. He's got the lead right now in the 200 fly, the yellow cap. Below him, Albiero, and then Ivanov of Virginia Tech.
Yeah, he's also very tough. He's been 139 plus. No Virginia Tech swimmer has ever won an individual event, so this would be a huge story. Julian hanging in there. He's hanging in there.
25 to go.
High. Good turn there out by Albiero. Do you see that turn there? And he came up ahead. It's the turn that's going to do it.
Julian or Albiero, the touch. And it's Albiero who has it by 19/100ths over Trenton Julian. Nicholas Albiero, the first individual winner in a swim race for Louisville since 2014, and their 3rd ever. His dad, the head coach, and here in his senior year, he brings home a win.
Oh, heartbreaker. A heartbreaker if you're a Trenton Julian fan, and he showed it on his face, the disappointment. I know how desperately he wanted that race. 21/100ths of a second behind. Great turns for both of them. They just managed their energy so well into and out of the walls. There's the front lead. There's the leader right there. Yellow cap. Julian, oh, that's just, you know, you know what he's swimming for, but that last turn by Albiero, just sensational. And then to the finish, and it really was that last turn and the way he came off the wall right there. Oh, what a great race. What a great race. And Ivanov from Virginia Tech, 39.2. Pretty good for him, too. That's the best time.
Nicholas Albiero and Trenton Julian, you have both done your fathers proud. And right now, Louisville in 6th place. Texas with the lead. They lead by 15 points over California. Entering the 5th round of the platform diving competition, Purdue is 1-2. Brandon Losciavo, and then Ben Bramley. Losciavo in control. Zach Cooper, Miami 3rd, and Jordan Wendell of Texas in 4th place. If Wendell were to win this, then Texas would win the overall team competition, but he missed on his 3rd round dive, carding just a 29.7, so that has him in 4th place and has Losciavo in control. And now Zach Cooper of Miami in 3rd place, heading into his next to last dive. Let's see, 53 points separate him and the leader, Brandon Losciavo.
It's a tall order for the men behind Brandon because of Brandon's high degree of difficulty. Brandon would have to miss in order not to win this competition, as I see it at this point, 2nd to last round. Oh, that was beautiful. Zach Cooper, who will be in his 3rd Olympic trials in June, does this reverse 3.5 somersault. The toe point impeccable, the entry into the water just maybe a touch shy of vertical. Remember, the judges can give 10s. You don't see very many of them very often.
7 judges. The top 2 and bottom 2 scores are dropped, middle 3 added together and multiplied by the degree of difficulty. Here's Ben Bramley of Purdue. Purdue going 1-2 right now. Bramley in second place.
And to go ahead of Zach Cooper, he needs 5.5s on this dive. He's off. Whoa, he just over-rotates slightly. And that may be a little bit of anxiety being in this final, but he's got lots of experience. I just think he kicked his legs up towards the ceiling too much to try and finish the dive. So he will not go ahead, but it is mighty close.
Yeah, he is less than a point behind Zach Cooper. Here's the leader, Brandon Lociavo. He's in the driver's seat, just hit 2 dives, and he's your champion.
He would almost have to fail this dive in order not to still be in first place. He only needs 3s, and these are 2 really good dives that he does in the final 2 rounds. Well, he over-rotates a little bit, but it's not considered a miss. It's just a little bit of a flaw, a mistake. And if I were him, I would relax and unhook my brain right now.
Yeah, tough to do with so much at stake.
Disconnect any thinking, because we've heard that expression, stinking thinking, and that can get you in trouble if you don't just do what you do in practice all the time.
Lociavo with the lead over Zach Cooper of Miami, just slightly ahead of Ben Bramley. Purdue in their quest to go 1-2, and Cooper has nosed his way in there. And Jacob Fielding and Jordan Wendell right now in 5th place. And now round 6, the final round dive for Zach Cooper of Miami in 2nd place, trailing Brandon Lociavo of Purdue by 35 points.
And just 1 point ahead of 3rd place Ben Bramley from Purdue. So this is a real fight for 2nd place right now. And he has a lower degree of difficulty than Ben Bramley coming up. Well, he stands up to that pressure.
Yes, he did.
Yes, that was gorgeous. He does a back 2.5 with 1.5 twists. He keeps his toes pointed throughout. It's hard to keep the feet together. It came apart just a little bit during the twist, just slightly, or else it would have been 9s or above from all the judges.
81.6 for Cooper in his last dive.
There's Adam Soldati right there, and Justin Soshore from Ohio State talking, and Adam watching his 2 divers, Ben Bramley, the junior, going right now doing a dive that he changed to this dive, a higher degree of difficulty dive. He did not do this in the preliminaries. He needs 8s, and he's gonna get it.
What a finish.
He changed to do that dive, strategizing.
Wow, a 90. You got a 9 from one judge. Ben Bramley of Purdue.
He did not do this dive in the prelims. He changed it at the last one, just a little bit before the competition was starting. He went up and changed the dive, and it pays off greatly. This is unbelievable. He will be 2nd or 1st, depending on what Brandon Lociavo, his teammate, does right now. Brandon only needs 5s on this forward 4.5 somersault. Well, he's going to get 5s, but he didn't do the best dive in the final round.
But he did enough earlier.
Yes, he did enough. He will win the competition, and his teammate Ben Bramley will be second. It came down to the final dive for his teammate, and the strategy, unbelievable. He over-rotates on this. Look at him go past vertical right there, going in the water. But there they are, Brandon Losciavo on the left and Ben Bramley on the right.
Now, Jordan Wendell of Texas, the defending champion from 2019 when he won it in his home pool in Austin.
The best he can do at this point is 4th place. He cannot be in one of the top 3 places no matter what he scores on this dive. And that was his best dive in the last 4 rounds. He got it back together for the final dive. Will he be 4th place is the question. Will he beat Jacob Seiler? And that is remarkable that he comes back and still ends up in the top 4 after missing a dive for 2s.
So Wendell collects 15 points for Texas, and Brandon Losciavo and Ben Bramley of Purdue finish 1 and 2. Losciavo's total 469.05. He finishes at about 19 points ahead of his Boilermaker teammate. Losciavo and Bramley, then Cooper and Wendell. Purdue goes 1 and 2. And Brandon, your 3 previous trips to the NCAAs, you were 4th, 9th, and 18th on platform. How badly did you want this one?
I think it was just a redemption for just me personally. I just wanted to make sure I was staying consistent and I wasn't overthinking the outcome.
We talked a lot about what happens when you overthink during this contest, but your first 3 dives set you up so well. Did you have any idea that that momentum would carry you through?
No, I just wanted to stay as consistent as possible and just focus on what I'm doing. My coach and I just try to keep me as centered as possible. So that was the goal. Consistency is key.
Brandon, what makes you happier, winning or you and Ben taking 1st and 2nd?
I don't know. That was a pretty incredible moment. So, yeah, either way, it was both great.
Congratulations to you and the Boilermaker.
Thank you.
Yep, Adam Soldati, their head coach. Brandon Losciavo and Ben Bramley of Purdue go 1-2 on platform. The men's NCAA swimming and diving championships continue from here in Greensboro. Let's take a look at today's rewarding performance brought to you by Capital One. 3 wins for Cal's Ryan Hoffer.
What a sprint sensation. He is 2nd fastest performer ever in the 50 freestyle, 18:43. And what does he do next? He goes into the 100 fly. This one was a little bit closer. 44:25 over Albiero, 7 100s behind. And then how about the hat trick? The only swimmer to break 41. This one was easy, 40.8. Unbelievable job for the senior from Cal.
Yep, Ryan Hoffer bringing it home. His Cal Bears right now trailing Texas. We have 1 event to go, and the Longhorns in control. Cal 2nd, and then Florida and Georgia. The 400 freestyle relay. NC State has the record. They set it 3 years ago. And they have the best time in the nation this year. They will be in lane number 4. In lane number 8, the Texas Longhorns. All they have to do is have good exchanges here, don't get DQ'd, and they win this meet. But they would love to put an exclamation point on the win and win this heat and win this competition. This is the 5th of 5 timed finals in the 400 freestyle relay. Cal has the time to beat, 2:46.6.
Even with safe starts, they should be a favorite.
Take your mark.
No other team put 4 swimmers in the top 18. In fact, no other team even had 4 swimmers in the 100 freestyle. Kruger and Kibler tied for 2nd. Stockton was 14th and Sandham was 18th. And they're leading off with Kruger.
That's Texas at the top in lane number 8. Below Kruger, Matt King of Alabama, great freshman sprinter. Below him, Giovanni Izzo of NC State. And then Haridi Sameh of Louisville, who's had a great meet. Closest to you in lane number 2.
Yes, Sameh was 17th. King was 5th in the 100 freestyle. Watch the start, though. Up top. That's what you want to do, is sigh of relief.
Yeah, they took plenty of time there.
I think he could have had a cup of coffee on that one right there. That's how safe he was.
That was smart. Chris Staka taking over for Daniel Kruger.
Louisville, look at Louisville. You know, they have really surprised me along the way here. They are just swimming so well, finishing 6th most likely in the meet.
And this is Nicholas Albiero. Now, seniors can come back next year, but if Albiero doesn't, he's in the bottom, lane number 2. This would be the final swim of his collegiate career under his father as head coach.
Well, Louisville and North Carolina State in 2 and 4 didn't even have a swimmer in the top 16 in the 100 freestyle. And here they are leading it, or close. Yeah, they're leading it, 124 flat. That is just incredible, even with Texas's safe starts.
Jake Sanham now swimming the 3rd leg for Texas. Below him, Jonathan Bernberg of Alabama, Luke Miller of NC State, and at the bottom, Michael Eastman of Louisville.
Eastman 19.8 on the feet. Louisville still kind of hanging in there.
Yes, they are.
Wow. Not only hanging in there, they're still in the lead with 125 left to go.
They won the 200 medley relay. Can they cap it off with a 400 free relay win?
Unbelievable. 22-1, so he's 42 flat.
Colton Paulson now trying to anchor him home in lane number 2 at the bottom. Above him, Hunter Tapp of NC State. Colton Stogner of Alabama at the top. Drew Kibler, great spreader for Texas.
And Texas was very safe on their starts, so they will win the national title. 19.6 on Paulson, still with the lead.
2:46.6 Cal's time from the previous heat.
That's what you're looking for. You're looking for 2:46. You're right, Rich. I don't think they're going to get it. They're not. Cal's going to win the free relay.
Now they do. 2:47.98 for Louisville to win this heat. It's the Cal Bears that win the 400 freestyle relay, and it's the Texas Longhorns that win the national championship. The top 2 times in the 400 free relay come out of the next to last heat. Cal and then Florida. Louisville with a great swim in that final heat. They end up finishing 3rd overall. Texas finishes 4th, but they did what they needed to do to win the national championship. And it was close. Texas wins by 27 points over their arch rival. Let's check in with the winning coaches.
Matt, I am constantly amazed by the contributions of every diver. You bring 4 divers to the meet, and every one of them figures out a way to score points. How do you corral those Longhorns to do that?
Well, I think it's just a big team effort. You know, we have support from the whole swimming and diving team in good times and in bad. Almost even more support during bad. And when you've got that kind of support, you're going to go to work and you're going to go to battle for your team.
15 of these, Eddie. 15 of them. Everyone's so different, I know, but what makes this one so unique?
Well, every one of them are different because of the makeup of your team. And everybody has to go through different things. This group, most of them have been through what I call the COVID year. And then we had that freeze in Austin, and we just, you know, and everybody has something special they have to overcome every year. And this group, if I had wood to knock on, they went the whole year, whole school year, with no positive COVID test.
Wow.
Amazing. 4 decades plus as head coach and now 15 national titles. Matt Scoggin in his 27th year, been a part of a lot of those and won 5 of the last 6. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What a great moment for the Longhorns. They had won it 4 years in a row. Then Cal took it away from them in their home pool 2 years ago. And now the Longhorns are the champions again. What a week it's been here in North Carolina. Some fantastic individual performances from athletes from many teams. And in the team competition, California and Texas went down to the wire. For Cynthia Potter, Rowdy Gaines, and our entire hardworking crew, I'm Rich Burke. For the 15th time in their storied history, and for the 5th time in the last 6 years, the championship trophy is going to Austin. The Texas Longhorns have done it again.